Okay, awesome. So I'm going to start with my devotional real quick. Let me get to it. It's really going to make you think. Okay, it's called Dangerous Prayers. It says, the phone woke me up out of a deep sleep. It was early in the morning of September 22nd. When I looked at the name on my phone screen, I smiled. My friends Daniel and Catherine were expecting the birth of their first baby, and I knew Catherine had gone into labor the night before. I was hoping and expecting to hear good news, but as soon as I heard Daniel's voice on the other line, I knew something was wrong. He said, hi, Pastor. Josiah was born, but there are many health issues that we weren't expecting. I told him I'd head to the hospital right away. Daniel and Catherine Daniel confirmed the worst. Josiah's kidney failure was one of many of the health problems that doctors discovered after he was born. I didn't know what to say, so I prayed, cried, and did my best to encourage his family. Josiah endured 9 major surgeries in the first year of his life, and he spent more nights in the hospital than he did at home. Today, Josiah is 10 years old, and he's had over 30 surgeries. Despite the many trials he's faced, Josiah is an awesome kid. He's super smart, witty, and he loves Jesus. Looking at him, you would never know the challenges he faces every day. You never guess that outside of a miracle, he will face those challenges and more the rest of his life. Recently, we had dinner with Daniel and Catherine. During the meal, we reflected on doing life over the last decade. And we asked, what's been the hardest part of the last 10 years? Catherine's eyes filled with tears before she answered, praying. Silence fell over the table until, with tears now rolling down her cheeks, she continued, when I was pregnant with Josiah, I prayed every day that God would heal him, and I believed that he would. When he was born and my miracle prayer hadn't been answered, I continued to pray. I prayed and prayed and prayed. With everything in me, I prayed and believed that God would heal my baby. Now, 10 years later, I still pray, but it's not the same. I miss the way I used to pray, the boldness, the passion, the belief that God would move on my behalf, that my dream of seeing my son healed would come true. The weight of that conversation and the rawness of Catherine's honesty still shakes me to my core. For the first time, I shut the front door. How in the world was I muted? I disappear, I come back, and I'm muted the whole time. Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to read it again. The gist of this was talking about how when we are really passionate about something, we pray really hard for it. Okay. So whether it's, Lord, that's going to be in the recording too. Oh, dear God. Okay. Help us. Okay. Anyway, you know what? It's all planned. When we really want something, we pray really hard for it. Okay, we're really passionate about our prayers for it. Whether it's a health diagnosis, whether we're just had somebody diagnosed with cancer, whether it's ourselves diagnosed with cancer, whatever it may be, you're all of a sudden become bold in your prayers. Why can't we be bold every single day in our prayers and our dreams for our life? And so I don't know if you guys watched the Joel and Stephanie Dunn video that I sent in the chat the other day, but she started off with a story talking about a man who was almost 400 pounds, or maybe it was even 500 pounds overweight. His daughter got sent to the hospital for an emergency. They get there and she needs a kidney transplant. And he said, well, I want to donate my kidney to my daughter. And he and the doctors told him that he could not because of his weight, and that he could not himself, it would put himself in danger, and he couldn't, even though he was a match, he couldn't give his daughter a kidney. Devastated him. He asked the doctor if he lost weight, how much weight would that take, and how fast did he have to do it to be able to give his daughter the life-saving kidney he needed. The doctor said 5 months. Do you think that he lost that weight in 5 months? He had to lose like 60 pounds in 5 months. Do you think he lost it? Yeah, he lost it because it was passion and purpose behind what he wanted to do. All of a sudden it was important. He tried to lose weight for years and years and years and failed and failed and failed. But all of a sudden now, because he had something to drive for and something to push for, it all of a sudden became super important for him not to give up and fail. And so it's the same thing with our dreams. It's like we sit there and you know, our hopes and our dreams and our prayers for our life and our future. You keep dreaming and pushing and dreaming and doing big, and find whatever that is inside of you that is going to push you to give that to lose weight for that kidney. Do you hear what I'm saying, guys? Like, we settle for mediocre, and we settle for you know, saying that this business isn't working for me. But are you really applying yourself into it? Are you really praying over it every day? Are you really, you know, passionate and excited about it? You know, are you doing everything? Examine that. Is it like a non-negotiable for you? Like, it's a non-negotiable for me to succeed in this business. Mel and I got on a Zoom today together, and we did a dreaming Zoom, like literally writing down and talking about our dreams of what we want for the future, to be able to give ourselves our kidney dreams. Okay. Because what that means to me is there is nothing that can happen to me in my life, in this business, that is going to stop me from putting my best forward every single day, pushing hard every single day to accomplish those dreams, because I want them for myself and for my family more than myself than anything. I think all of our dreams had to do for other people. Yes, they benefited us in a way, but it was more focused for changing our life for our family. So today we're going to talk about, we have a few days left to the end of the month to complete the first 4-in-1. And I want to just say this, because as I go through tonight over what is working for the people that, you know, the individual people that I personally enrolled that I'm working with. Congratulations, Brooke Pittman, on here for getting your 4-in-1. I'm so excited for you. But she has been putting this process into effect, and it has been working for her. And so we're going to go over that. We're going to give you guys scripts exactly how that's working. It's working for me. It's working for her. It's working for several of you. And I just want to make sure you guys have the tools to be able to put this in effect, because literally, and I've listened to this isn't a new concept, because I've listened to, like, Amber Parker talked about doing it. Several girls on Joel and Stephanie's team talked about doing it. And they say, give it 7 days. Do it 7 days. And you'll be shocked at how many customers you have and how many conversations you've been in 7 days. And I'm challenging you guys all, by the end of this call, if you are not doing this on a daily basis, to try it for 7 days. Give it 7 days and see where you are at the end of 7 days. So, 4-in-1. You have until the end of the month to get your first 4 loyal customers and 1 distributor. Okay. Does that mean, and I've gotten this question, if I do not get my 4-in-1 by the end of the month, does that mean I cannot earn the Christmas cash at Christmas? No, that is not what that means. All it does is mean that you have October and you have November to still earn 4-in-1 three times to be able to get your Christmas cash. So if you are super close, you need to push hard for the next 7. Is it 7 days till the end of the month? It is, isn't it? 7. Is it? Yeah. Thank you, Brown. So it's 7 days to the end of the month. Push hard for the next 7 days and try to accomplish that. If you don't, then you now have the tools in place to be able to push hard through the month of October and November to be able to accomplish that for the next 2 months. So do not give up. Keep pushing, keep working, because it's still available. That $3,500 at the week before Christmas is still on the table for you, and for all of us. And so I want nothing more than, you know, like it excites me, you guys. Christmas is such a hard time for most people, for most families. They put bills aside. They are scrimping and scraping. They're sacrificing to be able to provide a good Christmas for their family because it's important to them. And then they're catching up all of January, December. It's on credit cards, and they're just accumulating more and more debt. We have the opportunity to not do that in our lives this year. We literally have the opportunity to be able to provide an exceptional Christmas for our family if that's what we wanted to spend all $3,500 on. Or we have the ability to sit there maybe and pay our bills early for January, you know, whatever you want to be able to use that for. But that's unheard of for most people in January and December and January. And we have the ability to make that happen for our families. And so talk about a kidney dream. This needs to be a non-negotiable for you and your family. There needs to be not one thing that you would not do or that you would not try for 7 days to be able to accomplish that for your family. Why are you letting and giving up $5,000? The opportunity to earn $5,000 over the next 3 months. There's nothing I would give up. There are people that would like cut off a finger to be able to get $5,000 handed to them. They would gladly put posts up on social media and talk to people. And so we have such an amazing gift to be able to change our families' lives. So I want you to keep thinking about that. Your kidney dreams, non-negotiables. There's nothing that you're going to be doing to give up to lose that $5,000 on the table. Okay, so the first thing that is on, there's 4 things that I'm having all the newbies do, and this is how we're training. This is how I want you to train your newbies, is that they are going to be products of the product. My biggest reason for being a success is that I am literally showing the product that I'm using every single day. I may not give a it works product post, but I have my coffee in my picture, or I'm popping my gummies in my story, or I'm showing some product that I'm taking on my post or in my story. And it's usually typically around the same product because I just use the same products every day. That makes it identifiable. It makes you real. It doesn't look like an advertisement that people are bored with and scroll through. They're interested. They stop and look at my cute little grandbaby with a coffee cup in front of his face, grinning at me and reaching for it. Okay. Like they make it real. And so when we talk about content for this, because people are like, I can't do that every day. I don't even know how to do that every day. I don't even know where to start and how to do that every day. I was talking to one of my newbies and I said, this is what you need to do. She's like, I don't have time in the mornings. I'm running to school, usually late, trying to get my kids out the door. I don't have time. I'm making my coffee, throwing it in my cup and walking out the door with it. I forget to video myself. I forget to do that. So usually Saturday and Sunday, things slow down a little bit for most people. Okay. You have a little bit more time to make your cup of coffee. Okay. And maybe video it. You can video it. You can boomerang one the next day and you can reuse those. It's not just a one-time thing, you guys. Okay. People don't know you have 100 coffee mugs in your cabinet. If they see you using the same one every day, it's okay. Use one on Saturday and use a different one on Sunday and reuse it throughout the week. Another thing that you can do is take pictures with that same cup of coffee. Pre-planned content, okay? What I mean by that is you took a video of your Keurig making your water and you pouring your little packet into your coffee. And I'm just using coffee as an example. It could be gummies. It can be anything. You make that video, okay? Well, after you're done with that video, you take a picture of your mug in your hand. There's a picture of that. Then you turn it around and take a picture of you with your mug in your hand. It's all the same day, but you're going to use a different picture or a different video every single day. So then on Sunday, you do the same thing. You make a boomerang instead of a video. Then you take a picture with your hand with the mug, with a different mug, because it's a different day. We're using a different mug. Take a selfie. You look different that day because it's church day. You may actually have gotten ready and you have a different picture for that day. Okay. So then all of a sudden you have 6 content items for 7 days of the week. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, hold on. Okay. So do you hear what I'm saying? How easy and quickly that is to make content? You don't have to come up with content on the fly or on that day. You literally could take a couple pictures in a row and be able to use them throughout the week. Okay. And then don't be afraid to reuse them again if you need to the next week. All right. Does that make sense? Some ideas, and like, even if if you are coming up with things on the fly, your kids playing on the floor, maybe they're sitting there doing homework. It's the same thing. Put a mug as they're doing their homework, and your post is, I'm so grateful for this fat burning coffee. This 5th grade math is kicking my butt. Okay. Like, just little things like that you can. Am I frozen? Jesus be offense. I swear to God. Mel, you were talking about having technical difficulties last week. The devil just don't want me to share this information this week. I remember to unmute myself this time as I come back into the zone where it takes me. All of a sudden, you guys were all frozen. I was like, I think I might be frozen again. Okay, moving on. So you have that content. Simple ways to be able to make new content in the moment is like around your chaos. Okay, if you're driving to a soccer game on Saturday, have a take a quick coffee mug on the go. Like Brooke did this the other day. Like she had her coffee mug in her car with her steering wheel on her way to work. Apply it to your life. This is just real life. Okay, if you're heading to the soccer, if you're sitting at the soccer field watching practice, take a picture with you in the soccer field in the background. If your kids are doing homework, say, I'm so grateful for this fat burning energy this afternoon because it's 5th grade homework is kicking my butt. Just little things like that you can. We overthink posting way too much. And maybe it's because I've been doing it for 3.5 years, but you literally can make anything that you are doing into a post. And it just shows that you're doing this business and using these products and still living your life, if that makes sense at all. So, okay. I already talked about that. All right, so number 2. We're using the products, we're showing them in our story every single day. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is we're messaging in our stories. I am a huge advocate for this because out of every social media platform that we have, the only place that we can see where people actually see our stuff. Okay, you can't see who sees your post unless they like or comment. You can't see who, same thing with TikTok, anything on Instagram, you can't see unless they actually respond. But if you go into your stories, on the left-hand corner, it has an amount of views. You can click it and you can actually see who's been viewing your stuff. Okay, people view stuff they're curious about. If they didn't want to watch you, they'd skip over your little circle and go to the next person. Okay, so it's just like seeing a commercial on TV. You see the same commercial for the same hair wand over and over again. That girl's curls look amazing. You're like, oh my gosh, I really think that I could do that wand. And then you get the wand and you can't even figure out how to curl the hair around it. But like you sit there and you watch that commercial 15 times and then you were like, oh yeah, I need that wand. And so it's the same thing that we are doing. Okay. Same process. We are doing commercials in a different way, okay? We don't want them to look like commercials, but we're giving them that content over and over and over again to make them appeal to actually reach out to us. The thing that does with stories is that we reach out to them before they reach out to us. They're curious at story 1. They still haven't messaged you on story 15. You message them on story 17, and they're like, yeah, I actually, I'd love for you to send me some info. I've actually been curious about it. They may not buy, but they sure have been curious about it. Now they're seriously thinking about it. And the reason they didn't reach out in the first place because they thought it was super expensive. Okay, now you've like completely gotten rid of that. And now they're like, oh, okay, maybe I can fit that into my budget. And so then that conversation and then your follow-up with them starts happening, okay? With our posts, I got this message today that she was really discouraged because nobody's responding on her posts. Her host of posts didn't get any, she had 2 people host a post for her. They didn't get any comments. You guys, the Facebook algorithm is a real beast, okay? You literally, our posts only go out to 2 to 3% of our friends, and it's only the friends that we've been interacting with. So if you've liked and commented on some kid's birthday picture, if you've sat there and liked and commented on some kid's first day of school picture, those are the people that are in your newsfeed and are getting your posts. Okay, it's not your next door neighbor who you lived next to for 20 years, who is your Facebook friend, but she hasn't seen anything from you for 20 years. I just went and which I was telling Mel, I had a really cool opportunity yesterday. My pastor asked me to come and speak to some of the staff and the social media people about upping our social media game for our church, which I thought was really cool that like they reach out to me because of what I do, to come teach them that. And like people don't know. And I said to them, I never see our church's stuff. It never comes across my news feed. Why? Because you aren't interacting with me. Okay. So, when you do take times of mindless scrolling, make sure that you're commenting and liking on people's stuff. Don't just mindlessly scroll. Always like somebody's post, or comment, okay? And that's how that reboosts your algorithm to get those people into your stuff, okay? Now, if you see Suzanne Smith's pictures and her posts for the last 3 days, please only like one. Don't like them all, because you want to move on to Daniel Green. You want all these other people to be in there. You just don't want Suzanne Smith's in your feed all the time. So you want to make sure that you're spreading that love all over everywhere. But messaging the stories, and Mel's going to pop this into the chat. These are scripts that I personally use. I post mostly in my stories about gummies, coffee, and the business. Okay, you rarely will ever see me post about any other products. Not that I don't use a ton of them. Those are just my top sellers. You will learn, if you're new in the business, what works, what sells for you. Typically, it's the products you use the most of and that you've gotten the best results from, which is why you need to be using the products every day and showing yourself every day so you can talk about that. But these are the messages that I send, and I'm just going to read one. I'm going to read the one that's up there in the chat. It says, "Hey, Hannah, thanks so much for supporting me and viewing my stories. My favorite product is our gummies. I gave a little bit of blurb about it. They target your waistline and hips, clinically proven to shrink bloated flat cells. Not sure if you're even interested, but I have a deal available for my friends right now. Can I send you some info?" Okay. I'm basically ending it I'm giving her a quick blurb. She may be skinny. It's something I have learned in this business. Everybody's skinny is not the same. She may be, the skinniest thing you've ever seen, but she has a little mom pooch that she hides and she hates. Or she's 10 pounds overweight and she hates it and it makes her feel bad. Okay. And then you have the people that are 400, 500 pounds that you're talking to. Okay. So you'd never be afraid to send a weight loss post to everyone. Because I've learned that everyone's weight is different and what their reality is of what they want their body to be, okay? And then I end it in a question, can I send you info? I just leave it open-ended because it requires an answer, okay? It requires an answer, a yes or no answer, or they just leave you on red, which isn't a big deal. The next one is for the coffee, and then Mel's going to put a business one in there too. I really like this business one if you're really pushing, because like some of you have gotten customers already for your 4-in-1, but you haven't gotten your distributor. This is a good one to start putting some business slides in your stories so that you can have somebody to message about specifically just the business. Okay. So that script is in there as well. You can get business story slides. Pinterest is a great tool to be able to use by going in and just putting in there, it works business slides, okay? Or it works business, and business slides will come up. Follow my story every day. I put business slides up. Melanie puts business slides up every day. You can always screenshot those slides and add your own picture in to cover up ours, okay? So always steal content. I rarely make original stuff. Like, I'm giving you ideas. I'm making original posting, and I want you to be original. But when my stories are and stuff like that, I'm typically stealing a lot of those stories and putting my picture over. Okay. So you've got number 1 is being a product of the product, showing yourself every single day. Number 2 is messaging your stories. Number 3 is host a post asks. Okay. We're not focusing on getting a certain amount up. We're focusing on asking people to post for you. Why is this important? Why do we care about this? This is, I don't even want to do this. I just want people to come to my page. Here is the reality. I haven't gotten where I am in 3.5 years by just my posts on my page. I hardly ever make a sale off the post on my page. The reason I do post on my page every day is for that authenticity and that full circle, that when someone sees a post about me or from me, that they come to my page and check me out and see that I'm legit, I have my own results, and that I'm using these things, that I'm real, okay? And the consistency completely blows. There are so many people, and you all see them on social media, that go from business to business to business to business to business, okay? So they're like, oh, yeah, Deshandra, she's in her 3rd business this year. She's sold cups. She's sold bags. Now she's into jewelry. Oh my gosh. Now she's doing weight loss. This girl, she's just trying everything, but she sticks with nothing. Okay. I want to be the person that when my community thinks of weight loss, guess who they're contacting? Me. Because I've lost weight. I've been successful, and there's no other name. I literally talked to somebody the other day It was so funny. I was just telling my mom about you, and she really just wants to get your skinny coffee too. So I'm going to order now, give her some to try, and then she's going to order too. I was like, oh, okay. I'm in people's family room conversations. Okay, that's what should be your goal. That's why I post on my page every single day. It's that full circle. Now, this woman probably has been watching me take my coffee for 3 freaking years, and she's now just buying it with her and talking about it with her mom, okay? But I'm getting my sales from reaching into other people's markets by host posting, okay? Because there are 3 different types of people that buy from you. And you guys are all on here. We probably have one of each of you. There are the spontaneous buyers. Okay, they see it, they want it, they get it now. You want a grill? This is my husband. My husband is a spontaneous buyer. It drives me insane. I'm grateful for them in my business, but my husband's a spontaneous buyer. He wants a grill. He's going out and getting it right now that day. He's not thinking about it. He's not researching about it. He's going out and getting it that day. He saw an advertisement. He wants that grill. We're getting it today. He decides he wants a golf cart. Guess what? He goes and gets he looks on Marketplace. The first golf cart he sees, he goes and freaking gets him a golf cart. I have a golf cart in my yard. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's literally, this is what this man does to me for the last 21 years. Then you have the people that like want it. They really want it, but they're like, okay, I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to pray about it for a couple of days. If I still feel that way, I'm going to buy. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to do a little research online. I'm going to wait a few minutes. They're the waiters a couple weeks. You may follow up with them the next month and they buy. Then they're the people that are going to watch you for years. Literally watch you for a long time. They're going to research. You're going to have 10 conversations with them. You're going to send them product info, over 15 different products. They respond on every post you got. Sometimes they respond. Sometimes they never respond. But these are these people that are watching you over and over again. And that's where, like, I cannot stress that consistency in posting does, because it speaks to those people. Again, you are real, honest, relatable, and authentic. And I can't preach that enough because there's not enough authenticity in this world. There really isn't. And I just want to be the realist me, and that's what people get on social media. So those are your 3 buyers. So that's what you're fighting for. So you have 1,000 friends on Facebook. You're only getting your posts out to 2 to 3% of your friends. Okay, you may have 0 spontaneous buyers on there, or all of them may be skinny and not want to lose weight. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why that posting every day, reaching different people, but you have to get into other markets. You have to use those host posts to get into other markets so you can reach those first spontaneous buyers. That's where you get your sales. Okay. Then all the rest falls into place as you keep working it every single day. Am I making sense? Okay, so host to post asks. There's a couple different ways to do this. The 2 best ways to do is to post a post on your page, a giveaway post. The one I did the other day about what was your grandma's name worked really, really well for me. And I did it as a picture. I did not do it as words on my page as a post. I did not do a picture with words. I actually went on Canva. Canva is a great app if you do not have it. It has all kinds of just blank backgrounds with different fonts. You can pop pictures and things, but I used that to create the ones I did. I think I just sent. Anyway, I made one for somebody the other day. But just the picture has been working really well for me. I did that. I got a lot of comments. I'm sending out host to post asks for that. Okay. And you're like, what if I don't want to post something on my page? That's fine. You can just ask people to host for you, host a post for you. And so Mel's going to drop those. A girl at my job was talking about you. That's your cousin. Is it Kyra? Is it Kyra B? Isn't that your cousin? Yeah. Girl, I've been trying to get her to do the business with me forever. She says, my cousin does it. I was like, I know, Kendra, but you listen, I've been talking to you about this business for 2 years. One day she's going to join me, or you, whatever. Whoever speaks to the rest. Anyway, you can ask. So I go into like my friends list, and Mel will drop these in the chat, but I basically will go to letter A and just start asking. I'll go down 30 people and I will send a message to ask them to host a host for me. I'll tell them, I don't know if you saw, but I'm, running this giveaway and I don't know if you want to be involved. And so I'll do the letter A one day. The next day I'll type in Smith. I'll send all the Smiths a post. The next day I'll type in T, and the whatever comes up for T for the next 30. I'll ask all the T, not all the T's, but I'll ask 30 T's, and then the next day I'll type in Rose, and I'll ask all the Roses, if that makes sense. So I just kind of go through my friends that way, and that way it's a random order. It's not always the same people, not the same demographic. But when you do those giveaway posts on your page, you just message those people, okay? Then you send them, and I sent Mel, I just gave her an example of what I send. When they say yes, I always say, thank you so much. And the verbiage that I say, it just says, just copy this pic, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm sending pictures with the post on it. That's what's getting me comments now on people's stuff. It's just the picture. And then I'm like, please copy and paste this picture and put it on your page and tag me so I can see it and find it. I'm doing that on Instagram as well. I'm doing different Instagram slides. I'll show you my most recent one that I'm doing that I love. So it looks like that. How in the world I can... Okay, so it's a picture of me. On the top, it says, now looking for social media influencers. At the bottom, it says, need $5,000 cash by Christmas, text me. And I put my number on it. It's simple. I'm looking for influencers. If you need $5,000 by Christmas, text me. And I'm getting in conversations that way. So I'm using that on Instagram. It's real easy. You just ask them to put a story in their story, and then you enter them in. If you're new to Host a Post, just make sure you're writing down who posts for you so that you can enter them into the giveaway at the end of the month. And I'll put that link in our page. So with that being said, whether they get comments or not, and we need to look at this so differently, how we're Host a Posting. People are like, oh, I'm discouraged. No one's commenting on that. If you get comments, yay, great, that's awesome. You're getting into that market, but you already are in a conversation with someone who is posting for you, okay? We know that's the number one key thing I've already given you tonight in this business. If they can post on social media, they can do this business. And so we always ask these people if they would like to join the business. A lot of you on here, that's how you join the business with me, is I asked you after you posted for me. And so I've got that. That's going to be dropped in the chat as well. And so that's number 4, is asking. So you're posting on your page and story about what you're using every day. Number 2, you are messaging in your stories at least 10 people a day. Okay. Number 3 is getting at least 30 asks up. Okay. The ways I told you are in, you may, if you didn't write these down, but they're easy to get 30. Type in Smith. You got at least 30 Smiths in there. Okay. In your friends list. Send all the Smiths. And ask. You're literally copying and pasting over and over and over and over again down your friends list. Message, copy and paste, send. Don't think about it. Don't think. Like I had somebody, a new girl, say, well, she had 50 comments on her giveaway posts. And she said, well, I'm just going to send the message to the ones I think that will post. Here's the deal. People need $1,500. Stop judging them. Stop judging who's going to post for you and who's not, or what you think. We make that mistake a lot about saying, like who we think is going to help us, who we think would be good for this business. You don't know what's going on in their life that they need $1,500 for, so don't be afraid. Don't limit yourself. Just send the message. Just to say, okay, I'm doing the Smiths today. Oh, she makes me nervous. She might come back with a crazy comment. Just send the message. Stop overthinking it. If they're negative, guess what? There's a block button. You can block them. If they're negative to you, they aren't supportive or, encouraging of your life and your journey. I always say, my family comes first. Providing for my family comes first. Making sure we're not in a cardboard box always comes first. You do not pay my bills. So how I do that is none of your business. And if you're not going to support me, encourage me in it, then, you aren't worthy of my personal time. And so again, it comes back to that kidney dream. What are you going to do? You know, like, are you willing to every day for the next 7 days at least post every day on your page and story, message at least 10 people in your stories, ask 30 people to host for you, give those hosts if they say yes, and then ask the people who host to join the business. I'm telling you, like, Brooke, unmute yourself for a second. How long have you been kind of, how long, like, we talked, what, a week ago? A week and a half ago? Yeah. And you started implementing some of these things. Right. Like, how were you surprised that the process, like that this started helping you? I mean, did that surprise you?
Yeah, actually it did. Because I kind of, when we first started talking, I guess I've been here, about maybe a month, 2 months now. And I kind of started doing it through, and then it was like my first time I posted, I got my first loyal customer within like a week. Right. It was really exciting. It was like, after that, it was just nothing. And I was posting and putting pictures and nobody would comment. I was asking for host codes. And then it was just like, all of a sudden, I just kept doing it. And then boom, within like a week, maybe 2 weeks, I had my loyal customers and my distributor. It definitely works.
It definitely works. That consistency piece is key. Thanks, Brooke. You're just a really good example because we've been working this process together. So sorry to put you on the spot. But you guys, I cannot stress this enough. And even if you've been in the business for a long time and you feel like you have a routine and you feel like you are, you know, like, I do this every day and I'm doing all the things. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Stop. Like, change it up. If you're not signing customers and distributors, something's not working. Like, I'm telling you that this process works. I'm telling you that this messaging is working because it's specifically messaging. We get so stuck sometimes in like that, like what I was talking about, liking and commenting on people's posts. I can get sucked in. I can get sucked into TikTok real quick. I can get sucked into just scrolling through social media, looking through people's stories like so quickly. Does that benefit my business? No. But you know what does benefit my business is making sure I'm posting and messaging, because you're initiating those conversations and you're getting in people's inboxes, and that's how you get somebody to buy something from you. If we rely on them to come to us, they're never coming to us, you know? And so that's, or it may take 3 years, like the woman with her mom, 3 years to watch me drink this freaking coffee for them to finally reach out to me. So that's the four things that I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. I want to open it up for questions before we get off. And Mel, text me if you think there's anything else I need to hit before we get off. Are there any questions specifically about this, specifically about something you're struggling with, specifically about just anything in general about the 4-in-1? If you have questions about it, let me know if I can answer anything. So just unmute yourself. You guys, if you did not copy the scripts in the chat, please get those before we hang up. The last thing I want to talk about too is mindset. And one thing, and I was talking to Mel about this, talking about dreaming. This business, I've been through a lot of life, okay? I've been through a lot of life just in general. I've been through a lot of life since I've been in this business for 3 years with, my alcoholic husband, and just different things that, just life has happened. What this business has done for me is helped me realize how important it is to focus on self and my mental self and my self-health. And that's okay, because as a mom, we put ourselves sometimes on the back burner and don't take care of us. We take care of everybody else, but we don't necessarily work on making sure that we are in a healthy state mentally. And when I say that, I mean like reading a self-help book or listening to Zooms. Like, there's nothing more inspiring. And the reason I post, trainings and things in the chat so often is because I know that I am my best in the business and I am excited when I'm connected and I'm listening to other people's stories and hearing their tips. It inspires me. It inspires me to do better and be better. That's called staying close to the fire. If I don't get on Zooms and if I don't listen to things like that, I get easily discouraged by no's and lack of comments and things like that. But when you sit there and you are in your ear all that encouragement and lifting up and, you know, like, you can do this, and look at what this person's done just by keeping doing the things every single day. Look at what Brooke's done by keeping doing the things every single day. Like, that can be you as well. And it inspires me. So I like, number one, stay close to the fire, jump on Zooms, listen to trainings. You don't have to listen to them in the moment. Just like this one's recorded, I'm going to pop it in the chat. Everybody who missed it can listen to it when they can. Most of those I listen to like when I'm getting ready in the shower, like times that I can't do anything else but do one thing. Okay. When I'm driving, I can't do anything else, but I can listen. When I'm walking, I'm listening to something. When I'm getting ready, I can't do anything else. I'm listening to something. Okay. And so I just take those moments. It's the same thing. Like if you found a good self-development book, you know, just things to help you be a better person, or maybe you're insecure and you're struggling with things in your mind. Craig Groeschel sermon I shared today, he just wrote a book called Winning the War in Your Mind. Excellent book, because as a woman, and I'm, you know, speaking to a bunch of women, we struggle with insecurities. We struggle with being enough. We struggle with, you know, just mom guilt, you know, just all these things. And those are all just, you know, mental battles that are up here. And how do we combat them? How do we combat them with truth is what he talked about today. And, you know, the real truth. And like, I could, and before this business, would just live in the what ifs, you know, like with my husband's alcoholism. He may be good in this moment, but what if, you know, it's just when is he going to relapse? What if, and I would not live in the present. Okay. And enjoy the present. I just lived in the constant fear. And today he was talking about like, what do you struggle with? And I was like, that what if mentality was a struggle I used to be, but then you combat it with the truth. My husband is present. He is sober. It's been 2.5 years. You know, like, you combat it with real truth to get rid of the devil putting all this insecurity and doubt in your mind to prevent you from living in your best in the moment. Okay. And that's what happens. And so I encourage you guys to just dig deep, work on yourself. You know, it sounds weird. And especially if you're not that kind of person. But it's just, it has changed me. I didn't think I was a bad person before, but it has changed me into a better person, into the person I am today. And that I know that, you know, when I had issues before, like I'd go down into depression, anxiety for a long time. It took me a long time to get out of that. And now, yes, I may need a day to get, you know, to refocus, but I know I've got the skills to be able to refocus and take my 24 hours and then move forward the next day, and strength and courage and faith. And so, I encourage you guys to do that. If you want some recommendations, or you're like, I don't even know where to start, message me. I'll give you something to start with, you know, to encourage you to listen to or read. But journaling is huge. I'm getting ready to unbox on my story, the Harps and Soul journals, which the girl who did the retreat I was just on at the island, started her own journals, for, journaling, and they're wonderful. If you've ever, people are like, I don't write in a diary. It's not really a diary. It's about like, and I don't want to say manifesting, because I don't really like that word, but it's about like just gratitude. Speaking, you know, like just good thoughts into existence. Greg Rochelle if you guys didn't watch that sermon, is so good, you guys. But he was talking about cognitive thoughts, like what we say and speak to ourselves in our mind and out of our mouths. Is our body doesn't know whether it's our mind, our brain does not know whether it's truth or fiction. It becomes this path that we walk over and over and over again. And so when you're journaling gratitude and you're journaling the things that you're blessed for and the what the Lord has done for your life, or, you know, whatever it may be, you start hearing that over and over and over again every single day. And it gives a new pathway and gets rid of the negative thoughts that you used to have. And so it's just a healthy way, but that those journals have prompts in it. Cause like, I didn't know what to do when I started. I was like staring at a blank page, had no clue. And it just easily allows you to be able to journal. You just fill in the prompts. So I recommend that too. All right, you guys, I'm going to pray real quick before we get off. I thank you for taking your time to get on tonight. I am available. Any of your leaders are available to answer any questions because they've all been trained in this process. But I challenge you, do not leave tonight without making the commitment to yourself to do this for 7 days. An easy way to get those asks in, okay? Because you're like, I am so busy during the day. I don't have time to ask 30 people. Again, you're copying and pasting. It should only take you like 7 or 8 minutes, literally. Do it before you climb into bed. Sit on the side of the bed, quickly go through the Smiths, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and then send them off and climb into bed. Guess what? In the morning, you wake up to yeses. Okay? And then all you have to do is just send them the message. And so it just makes it super easy. Okay? You just type them into your phone, put your phone down for bed, go to bed for the night, and you wake up to people that are willing to host for you. Okay? And that's just something that I do, and it just makes it super easy and smooth, and you get them out. All right, let's pray, you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. I enjoy. Thank you for accommodating me this week with my work schedule and my crazy life to be able to do the Zoom tonight. All right, dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for these wonderful ladies that are on this, that took the time tonight out of their busy lives and their families to spend time with me and to go over ways that help move their business forward. And Lord, I just ask that you give each one of them tonight as they're going to bed and they're doing their prayers tonight, give them kidney-sized dreams, Lord. I ask that you just sit there and help them dream, help them find their reason, for them to look at taking quitting off the table and making this business a priority for them. Give them that passion, that renewed excitement that $5,000 is going to change my life and there's nothing that's going to stop me from making this happen for my family. They're going to start dreaming even bigger, Lord. They're going to start dreaming about going debt free. They're going to start dreaming about buying land and building their dream house. They're going to start dreaming about going on missions trips or supporting an orphanage they want to support, or whatever they have been able, that they've laid on their heart for them, that they have always pushed to the back burner because they've never been able to afford it. And Lord, I just ask that you just give them these kitty-sized dreams to keep them pushing forward and renew their passion for this business. And get them excited, Lord, about the opportunities that you've brought into each one of our lives, because you truly did bring this business into our life to hand over to us. But we had to have to put the work in to be able to have the fruit, Lord. And so I just ask that you just continue to bless each one of our homes. I ask that you just bless their hands, Lord, right now for the work that they are putting in. I ask that the work that they're putting in, that you just honor it, honor their commitment to the next 7 days, and bless the hands and the work that is put in. I ask that you just pour blessings upon each one of their homes, bring peace to their home, bring joy to their home, bring laughter to their home, and let it just be a safe haven for each one of them, Lord, and for their families. Lord, I just am so honored by you entrusting these people with me, and humbled that I'm able to speak to them, and just thank you for the opportunities you are presenting into my life. Thank you for giving me the kidney-sized dreams that I was able to dream about today, and just continuing to inspire me and bring me forward into the future, Lord. Thank you so much. We love you. We praise you. And we ask everything in your name. Amen. Love you guys. Have a good night.
Let's eat.
Have fun, girls.
I gotta be in the camera all the time.